Hey everyone, I'm Dan with Third Space Movement. Welcome back to another movement remix. Today we are going to kind of do like a little follow along routine, so we'll do a little bit of a warm up together. Then we are going to take 2 rounds where we're going to take 2 different exercises and we're going to do 1-minute rounds of each exercise. So we'll get a little rest in there in between, but we'll be kind of moving pretty consistently through the second part of the workout here. So that being said, let's go ahead, get right into our little warm up. You're going to start down on the ground and we are just going to start alternating into our kind of our seated figure 4 position here. So from the side, just looks like sitting up nice and tall, pulling that one foot in nice and close to the body. What I'm really going to try to make sure that I do is, again, keep that chest up so we're just not slumped over. From here, we're just going to reach behind and I'm just going to switch my foot position. So the opposite foot's going to come in. I'm going to plant that other foot nice and flat onto the ground. That's another thing that we're going to watch is that heel stays down onto the ground. So right now I'm fairly kind of close with everything here. If you need to, you can take that foot out to make sure that that heel stays down. And again, we're just going to sit up nice and tall here. So let's go ahead and we'll switch. And we're just going to keep alternating back and forth, sitting up nice and tall each time I do this. And just getting used to the position of my legs. As I get through this, I'm going to see if I can maybe take those hands away. Still sitting up nice and tall each time. Then from here, we're going to create a little bit of momentum. We're just going to roll ourselves onto our back. This time, we're going to bring our hips forward, right back into kind of that seated figure 4 position. This time I'm sat on that back foot. Also, sometimes you'll see this as combat base. I really like this position here. Kind of gives us a chance to move in a whole bunch of different directions. For now though, we're just going to alternate rolling back and coming back into that combat base on each side. Again, I can plant the hands. Make sure that I'm sat up nice and tall each time. Last one. Perfect. From here, we're just going to take a kind of a long seated position with the feet out in front. And all I'm going to do for now, again, I can use these arms to prop myself up to stay nice and tall as I'm seated. And we're just going to just do some nice ankle circles here. So both at the same time. Just tracing that nice big circle. And then we'll reverse the direction. As I'm doing this, again, we're trying to make sure that the movement's just coming from the ankle. So I'm going to avoid rotating the thighs in and out, rotating at the hip to do this. The last one we're going to do is just center those toes again, and then we're going to actively pull those toes back towards our shins. I'm going to hold that for a second, and then we're going to point those toes and just moving in and out of flexing back, flexing forward. So this is a good habit to get into, that nice toe point. We work that lots. So from the same position, or if I find it a little bit more comfortable, we can just come to a cross-leg seated position. From here, the arms are going to go straight out to the side. And then we're going to alternate. One arm is going to come overhead as the other one rotates and comes to the small of the back. So ideally, I'm again keeping that chest open. I'm bringing those hands as close as I can together behind my back. I'm going to extend out to the side again, alternate One hand to the low back, one hand overhead. Each time we switch, just extending. Yeah. In this angle. Last one. Good. So we're relaxed. We're going to go right onto our backs. From here, I'm just going to alternate having one knee bent, foot flat on the ground, and the other leg, I'm just going to take it kind of like I'm kicking through a door. I'm just going to extend through the heel and straighten out that leg, and we're just going to switch. One foot goes down, the opposite one is going to push through that heel. Trying to straighten the leg, extend the foot for the roof. So similar motion. This time we're going to alternate actively pulling one foot up towards the ceiling again, and then we're just going to make a nice little switch here. We'll relax and just flip over right onto our stomachs. So from here, we're going to take that little combined shoulder motion we did while we were seated, and we're just going to do it in this face down position. So from here, I'm going to extend the arms for the sides. I'm going to pull them away, so back of the hands towards the ceiling. From here, I'm going to alternate, trying to reach those hands together. So a little bit more active position here. We're going to reset, bringing the hands underneath the armpits. I'm going to roll the shoulders away from the ears, engage that upper back. We're just going to come into a little mini cobra here. We'll relax. And one more time. So again here, I'm not driving the abs into the mat, trying to arch to get up. I'm trying to actively pull myself into this position, opening up that chest. And we'll go ahead and relax. From here, just coming up to a tabletop, we're going to get those hands right underneath the shoulders, and we're just going to loosen up those wrists just a little bit with some shoulder circles, going over top of the fingers. And we'll reverse the circle. And just find center again. From here, let's pick up those toes. We're going to plant them into the ground so we can pick those knees up. And then from here, we're going to alternate just a short little hover, opposite hand, opposite foot, and switch. So here, fight to keep those shoulders and those hips square. That spine neutral, nice and long. Try to find that tension to create a little bit of stability here. From here, we're just going to take those couple steps into our front crawl, up towards the top of the mat. And then back. Time. So if you have space to go side to side, that's good. I'm just gonna flip myself around here. We're gonna get ourselves back into our crawling position, those knees right off the ground. And then from here, we're just going to take a couple steps out to our right. From here, push up. I'm gonna bring those knees back to that 90. And then again, opposite side. Last one. Perfect. Last one we're going to do here is we're just going to take that squat position. We're going to walk the hands back. From here, once I get to that kind of 90-degree position with my knees, I'm going to extend the hips out. Drop the hips back. I'm just going to walk yourselves forward. I'm going to go right into that plank and then right into that push-up again. Here, make sure the feet are wide enough and I can fit my hips as I come through. Back into that tabletop. And last one. Good. So we'll take a little break here. The next piece that we're going to do is involving two movements. So the first one, we're going to revisit our kind of like that sit out move. We're making that tripod transition. What we're going to do is use that to get up. So what I'm going to start off with is just from a seated position. I'm going to reach one arm back and plant the opposite foot down. So that's going to create my stability. I'm going to bring my hips up off the mat so I can take that opposite leg straight through, stand up when I get to the top. I'm just going to bring myself nice and close to the ground again. Hand plants down across, and we'll send that leg back through. I'll switch over to my other hip. So from here, hip comes up. So I step nice and wide. So right from here, I have a nice wide base where I'm able to stand up, lower myself, find the ground, and that leg comes back through. Switch sides. So this is our little technical stand-up drill. So that's going to be number one. Number two is right on my back. We're just going to think of it. First part is a glute bridge. As I do that glute bridge, I'm going to reach my opposite one hand across to the opposite side. So glute bridge, I'm going to reach and then back down. So that's the two movements we're going to go through. We're going to do 60 seconds of each movement and then do a 30-second rest. We'll do 2 rounds of this first one, and then we'll go on from there. So first move into our technical stand-up. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Right into our stand-up, coming back down. Leg comes through, and we're just going to switch sides, alternating on each rep. If I want to get a little bit more distance, give myself a little hop as I come back. And time. From here, right onto our backs, we're just going to get into our bridge and our reach. 3, 2, 1, just starting. Making sure I fully extend the hips each time. So as I come up, I'm making sure to be on my shoulder. I don't have any weight on my head or my neck. And time. So from here, we're just going to take a second to reset. Nice big breaths. Making sure we focus on that exhale. So we have one more round with our technical stand-up, our bridge and reach. Definitely probably pretty warm by now. You know I am. Okay, so we're back into our seated position. Easier if I can get myself a little bit to my side. So you notice that each time the leg that's going to come through, I've switched myself so I'm over onto that hip already. So from there, it's nice and light by the time I start to bridge up and get those hips off the ground. So here we go. Round 2, 3, 2, 1. So we're moving nice and consistently through this. Making sure that the technique looks the same each time I do it. There's no little extra steps to it. And last one. Good. We'll find the ground right away. Right into our backs. And go. Almost there. And time. Okay. So again, we have 30 seconds here. Just trying to find that breath. So as you recover, I'm going to demonstrate the next 2 movements. So the first one that we're going to do is we're going to get used to moving our hips. So if I can move my hips, move my center of my gravity, then I'm free to kind of move the rest of my body. So what we're going to do is same position that we started off with, heels close to the butt, just like I was doing that glute bridge. My hips are going to come off. I'm going to turn to my side and I'm going to drive through my heels to straighten my legs and extend my hips back. I'm going to do the opposite move to come through. So I'm posting on my shoulder, hips come right off the ground,
So I'm able to place them back down here, out to the side, and back. So I really have to keep those hips up high because I don't want to be dragging that hip on the ground, having all that friction. Hips up nice and high. I'm going to try to scoot them back as far as I can. Pick those hips back up. I'm going to pull with the feet to pull my butt, my hips back towards my heels again. So that's our first one. Our second move is going to be carrying through onto our backwards roll. Find my tabletop position. Crawling through. I sit out. I roll over top of that opposite shoulder again. Here. Boop. And then back. So backwards roll to our front roll. Same thing. 60 seconds. Take your time. Try to make the movement nice and clean, nice and smooth. If you're practicing this for the first time, don't worry about it. Take your time. Really try to get that full movement through instead of rushing it. Cool? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. It helps using the hands, pretend like you're pushing something away as you push your hips back and then pull yourself back in. You should really feel that shoulder by now. It's digging into the ground, just trying to post and support that weight. Good. From here, we're going to set ourselves up for that backwards roll, crawl position, and then crawl to the front. Leg comes through. Almost there. Last one. And we'll rest. 30 seconds here again. If you need to, one hand to that belly, just one hand to that chest. We'll see if we can fill the belly. And really fully exhale. About 10 more seconds. So now we've calmed ourselves down. Focus on the next and last round. Okay. So starting on our backs again. Bring those heels towards the butt, feet are hip width apart. And last round, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Make sure we're clearing those hips, posting on the shoulder. That's it, just keep moving. See if you can start to get a nice little rhythm to it. almost there. And getting ready to go right into that first backward roll. Last one coming up. And time. Last time. We'll just check in with that breathing. Nice full breath in. Fully exhale. Do 2 more like that. Whew. Okay, right on, gang. Thanks for joining for another movement remix. We'll be back with some more third space workouts. If you haven't had a chance, check out all our previous videos and go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you again next week.